They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But what if you never planned it? What if the people who forgot you existed walked right into your world? My family left me out of Christmas. Deliberately. Cruelly. But when they showed up at that luxury ski resort, laughing, celebrating without me, they had no idea they were standing in my house. And by the time they found out, it was already too late. I'm Sarah. 34 years old. And apparently, completely invisible to my own family. You know that feeling when you're in a room full of people who supposedly love you, but you might as well be furniture? That's been my whole life. My sister Melissa? The golden child. Harvard MBA. Married to a surgeon. 2 perfect kids who speak 3 languages. My brother Jake? The baby. Still living at home at 28, but somehow that makes him sensitive and finding himself. And me? I'm the middle child who became a ghost. Every family dinner, I'd sit there while Mom gushed about Melissa's promotion or Jake's latest artistic phase. When I tried to share something, anything, about my life, eyes would glaze over. Phones would mysteriously need checking. That's nice, honey, Mom would say, already turning to ask Melissa about her vacation plans. I stopped trying somewhere around my 30th birthday. The one they forgot, by the way. Not maliciously. They just forgot. But here's what they never knew. While they were ignoring me, I was building an empire. 2 years ago, my mentor died. Richard Brennan. You've probably never heard of him, but in the hospitality world, he was a legend. He owned 17 properties across North America. And he left me one. Aspen Ridge Resort. Why me? Because for 5 years, while my family thought I was just doing admin work, I was his right hand. I restructured his failing properties. I negotiated million-dollar deals. I learned everything. Richard saw something in me that my own blood never did. You're hungry, he told me once. Not for attention. For respect. There's a difference. When the will was read, his own children were shocked. Furious, actually. But Richard's instructions were clear, Aspen Ridge was mine. A $47 million property. Mine. I never told my family. Why would I? They never asked what I did for work anymore. They assumed I was still fetching coffee somewhere. December 15, 2:47 p.m. I'll never forget the exact moment. I was in my office, yes, I have a corner office now, when I opened Instagram during lunch. There it was. Posted by my sister. A perfect family photo in front of a massive Christmas tree. Everyone was there. Mom, Dad, Melissa with her perfect family, Jake with his new girlfriend, my aunts, uncles, cousins. Everyone except me. The caption. Surprising Mom and Dad with a dream Christmas at Aspen Ridge. 7 magical days with the people who matter most. Snowflake Christmas tree sparkles. The people who matter most. I read it 3 times. Then I checked my phone. No missed calls. No texts. Nothing. I checked my email. Maybe the invitation got lost? Nothing. I actually laughed. A hollow, broken sound that made my assistant peek in to check if I was okay. Was I okay? Here's where most people would cry. Call them. Demand answers. But I didn't. Because I realized something beautiful. Something perfect. They booked their dream Christmas at my resort. They were literally paying me to exclude me. And that's when I decided. If they wanted to forget I existed, I'd give them a Christmas they'd never forget. December 22nd. I watched them arrive from my office balcony. They pulled up in 2 rented SUVs, spilling out like excited children. Melissa immediately started taking selfies. Jake complained about the cold. Mom fussed over Dad's scarf. They looked happy. My chest tightened. For a second, just one, I wanted to run down there. To be part of it. Then I heard Melissa's voice carry across the snow. Thank God Sarah's not here. She'd probably spend the whole time talking about her boring job or crying about being single. They all laughed. All of them. I stepped back from the window. Straightened my blazer. And made a call. Marcus? They're here. Give them the evergreen suite. But ma'am, they booked the Evergreen. Shouldn't we upgrade them like you said? No. They get exactly what they paid for. Nothing more. The Evergreen was nice. But it wasn't the Summit Lodge. It wasn't the presidential. It was average. And for my family, who loved to pretend they were richer than they were, average would sting. I waited 2 days. Let them settle in. Let them get comfortable. Christmas Eve. The resort's grand dinner. A $500 per plate affair that they'd somehow scraped together money for, probably assuming it would impress whoever they thought owned this place. I walked in through the main entrance wearing a simple black dress. Nothing flashy. But elegant. Expensive. The kind of dress Melissa would notice and hate that she noticed. They were at the center table, already 3 drinks in, Dad telling his same old stories. I walked past. Slowly. Jake saw me first. His face went white. Sarah? The table went silent. Mom's hand flew to her chest. What are you doing here? I smiled. Warm. Genuine. Like nothing was wrong. Merry Christmas. I work here, remember? Someone has to make sure everything runs smoothly. Melissa recovered first, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. You work here? Like, at the resort? Something like that. Dad shifted uncomfortably. We didn't know you'd be working during Christmas. Well, you didn't ask. The silence stretched. Beautiful. Excruciating. Then Mom, trying to save face, you should join us. We'll get another chair. Oh, I couldn't. Employees aren't supposed to fraternize with guests. You understand. Here's the real twist. What would you do? Would you reveal everything right then? Watch their faces crumble? Or would you do what I did? I played the long game. For 3 days, I made their vacation interesting. Their suite's heating mysteriously malfunctioned. Not enough to move them, just enough to be uncomfortable. Their dinner reservations kept getting lost. The spa was suddenly fully booked when Melissa tried to make appointments. The ski instructors were unavailable for Jake's private lessons. And every time something went wrong, I appeared. Helpful. Apologetic. I'm so sorry this is happening. Let me see what I can do. And then doing absolutely nothing. Mom started getting suspicious by day 3. It's weird, right? How everything keeps going wrong. Dad agreed. For such an expensive place, the service is terrible. That's when Melissa said it. The words that sealed their fate. Maybe if Sarah actually did her job properly instead of whatever she pretends to do here. December 27th. Their last night. The Grand Ballroom was hosting the resort's annual charity gala. A $10,000 per table event. They couldn't afford it, of course. They were watching from the lobby bar, pretending they didn't want to go anyway. I walked past in a gown that cost more than Melissa's car. She grabbed my arm. How did you get invited to that? I looked at her hand on my arm. Then at her face. I wasn't invited. I'm hosting it. That's impossible. Staff don't host. That's when Marcus appeared. My head of operations. Ms. Chen, the investors are ready for your speech. The color drained from Melissa's face. Mom's voice was barely a whisper. Your speech? I smiled. I should probably mention. I don't just work here. I own Aspen Ridge. Have for 2 years now. The silence was deafening. Jake laughed nervously. That's not funny, Sarah. Marcus cleared his throat. Ma'am, should I have security escort your family to the gala? As your personal guests? No, I said softly. They were just leaving. Mom found her voice first. Tears in her eyes. But not sad tears. Angry ones. How could you not tell us? How could you not invite me to Christmas? That's different. We thought. You thought what? That I didn't matter? Dad tried to mediate. Sarah, we're family. No. Family doesn't forget you exist. Family doesn't laugh about excluding you. Family doesn't spend years making you feel worthless and then expect forgiveness because blood is blood. Melissa, still in shock, you're worth millions? 47 million, actually. Just from this property. And you let us pay for our rooms? Let us struggle? I stepped closer to her. You paid $8,000 for this trip. That's probably a lot for you. Do you know what I would have paid? To be included? To get one text saying, hey, we're planning Christmas, want to come? Everything. I would have paid everything. But you taught me something valuable. You taught me that some prices are too high. Even for family. I walked away. Into my gala. Into my life. They checked out the next morning. Early. Quietly. Mom sent one text, we need to talk about this. I replied, no. We don't. That was a year ago. They've tried reaching out. Suddenly, everyone remembers my birthday. I get invited to everything now. Funny how money makes you visible. But here's what I learned, sitting in my office that overlooks the mountain I own. Success isn't revenge. It's freedom. Freedom from needing their approval. Their love. Their attention. They gave me the greatest gift that Christmas, they showed me exactly what I was worth to them. And in return, I showed them what I was worth to myself. Everything. You want to know the real tragedy? It's not that they excluded me. It's that if they'd included me, I would have paid for everyone. The whole trip. Every dinner. Every ski pass. Every memory. I would have given them the world. Instead, they got a bill. And I got my life back. Pause. Sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is stopping trying to matter to people who've already decided you don't. They still come back sometimes. To Aspen Ridge. They pay full price. And I watch from my office. Invisible again. But this time. By choice. If this story hit different, the next one's worse. Check the pinned comment. And remember, sometimes the best revenge is becoming exactly who they said you'd never be.